For granting us the opportunity to interview you today.
Thank you.
Could you please introduce yourself, please?
I'm Dr. Bukola Saraki, President of the Senate.
And your constituency?
Kwara Central.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, we're interviewing you today based on the second year anniversary of the 8th Senate, which you chair, and the National Assembly. Could you tell us what has been the last 2 years? What has it been to you for the last 2 years?
Well, the last 2 years have been very challenging, very demanding, and also at the same time, I would say also rewarding. I feel that we've taken up the challenges before us. We've been very focused, very determined. We've been driven by promises made to Nigerians, and driven by that to make sure we don't fail, but to keep those promises. We've been also have this high sense of responsibility, that we have a lot of people that we are accountable to, and we must make sure that we do not disappoint them, and we must do our best. We have also been motivated or challenged by the fact that we want this 8th Senate to be different. We want this 8th Senate to achieve a lot of things that have not been achieved before. We want to set a new standard. We want to be able to have impact on Nigerians' lives. We want them to see the way the Senate can contribute to the development of the country. We want to be able to, pass bills that will impact on Nigerian lives, and I think that has been our focus.
Thank you. You made mention of impacting Nigerians on different bases. In the last 2 years, what would you say has been the most impactful thing that the 8th Senate has done?
We've identified that one of the major problems is the economy. When you talk to a lot of Nigerians, look, how are they going to make ends meet? How are they going to get jobs? How can we ensure that the economy picks up? And in doing that, that's been our focus. All this work we've done in this last 2 years has been, and what is that? What can we do? What laws can we pass to ensure that small and medium-sized companies can have a chance, can be able to get business, can be able to create jobs? And we found out that one of the most important issues was access to credit. A lot of startups, young youth who just starting up their companies, they just cannot get credit. And we had to look at what laws can we pass that will improve that. We passed at least 2 clear significant bills that will improve that. Movable asset transaction bill that enables that you don't need to have a fixed asset, that with movable assets you can be able to get bank finance. And I think that will help along with a lot of young people who they're starting. They don't have a landed property in Abuja or in Lagos. All the assets they have is what they're trading with. And also the credit bureau that makes credit administration simple. Also the area of Made in Nigeria. We started that in a year and a half ago, where we went on to pass this bill. To me, I think probably that's the most important bill I think we've passed, Public Procurement Amendment Bill. Basically saying that all government agencies, ministries must give Nigerian companies first choice or act of first refusal at all goods and services. So if they're buying things from envelopes to furniture or whatever, if there's a Nigerian company that can do it, they must give that Nigerian choice that opportunity to do it first. And I think that will help a lot of young people. That will create jobs. That will see that this budget that we pass, the truly sense of it, that money is going to Nigerians, and that's important. The other area, of course, is how to strengthen our democracy. I believe that if we want to improve governance, we must ensure a process that will make sure the right people are elected. We must have a process that people will participate, that people's wish will be seen, people's choices of elected officials are the one that will go through. And the only way to do that is to strengthen our electoral process. And the amendment we passed to the INEC bill, where we further went on the issue of electronic voting and electronic processes, I think we take our electoral process to probably the best amongst them, be able to meet global practices. It might not be perfect, but I think it will go a long way to improving that. And I think once we do that, people will be more accountable because they know that people voted for them. And I think that also has been very important.
Next, I must commend you and your colleagues as well. You made mention access to credit, secured transaction, which also now brings me back to the next question that's been out there. There's a lot of misconception that there's executive legislature rift But we're also hearing that 196 requests have been passed. Could you shed some light on that issue?
Well, you hear it and I hear it as well. When you talk to Nigerians, you see they say, oh, there's rift between executive and legislature. I say, how is that rift? If you look at the number of requests that we've got from the executive for confirmation of appointments, we've got about 196. And how many have we rejected? About 11. How many have we approved? 185. And as I said, by my mathematics, that's over 90-something percent. So if you look by and large by those figures, you see there's more of cooperation. Even go back to 1990 time of President Obasanjo and all through date, I think this is the first time you see a Senate approving all ministers that have come before. It has never happened before. So there are examples of this kind of cooperation. But again, you see, you have to understand that the presidential system that we run here, it's based on checks and balances. And as such, you are going to have disagreements here and there. I always tell Nigerians and people that talk to me, you cannot measure our relationship based on one incident or two incidences. It has to be an overview. So there will be times that we will say yes to things, but it appears that sometimes people report more of the no's than the yeses. And that's why when you look at the 11 times we've said no, it gets a lot of coverage and the wrong conclusion is reached from it.
Just to wrap up, I'm going to ask you this question right now. A lot of people have been saying the 8th Senate. There's been challenges there, there's been challenges there, but you seem to be getting a lot of the impossibles done. From the PIGB that's been there for 17 years, from openers for over a decade, to clearing all ministers. How do you get to do these things?
I think what we have in the 8th Senate is that we're very focused. From my experience, of course, I've been in government for 8 years and other responsibility. I've come to learn that when you're in position of leadership, you must have your own plan, you must have your own vision, you must be focused. What do you intend to deliver? And when you do that, you must not be distracted. And from day one, despite all the noise that was going around, we were determined that this is our agenda. What is our agenda? The economy is our agenda. What's the agenda? We must improve the electoral processes. What's the agenda? Petroleum bill has been standing, nobody has been able to pass it for years. We must address it. Openness, we must do it. Budget process, we must bring in public participation into it. And we have said this target. We come in every day, we look at where we are. You can see by our actions are not hit and miss. Our actions are very clear to say this is what we want and this is what we intend to achieve. So we've been able to focus on that. And also we've also on the area of oversight. And I keep on saying one of the achievements that people don't talk about is that I think today, I mean, I was in the Senate, in the 7th Senate, and I've seen other Senates or other parts of the National Assembly before. There is no government agency today that can sit down and say that they can commit any act, that whether it's corruption or misappropriation of funds, and believe that a report will come to Senate, and we either sweep it on the carpet, will not attend to it. I think everybody knows that that cannot happen. We've shown it by action, and as such, we're making sure that people are accountable. And that's why we went for openness, because they say whoever wants to come to anything must come with clear. If we are going to ask people to be transparent, we ourselves need to be transparent in our own. And that's why we've opened our books and we're ready for public scrutiny on it. So for us, it has been a focused, determined, and also by the kind of cooperation we have in the Senate. The fact that in the Senate, you not sometimes tell difference between who is the ruling party, who is the opposition, whether you are from the north, whether you are the south, whether you are Christian, whether you are Muslim. We have a very looked at Nigeria as a constituency, and as such, what we've been trying to do is take those issues that we know will impact on the lives of Nigerians, and that is why we've done so much. If you go back and look at our records, the main focus of any legislature or parliament is passing of bills. The number of bills we've passed in these 2 years, about 91, is the highest number that any Senate has passed since 1999, despite all the distractions. If you look at the things we've done, like openness, never been done before. Petroleum bill, never been done before. And I can carry on like that, some of these examples. And so for us, it is because we've been business-minded from day one in what we intend to do.
Excellency, you made mention of things that have never been done. There's something else that seems not to be getting enough attention, but a lot of people are commending the 8th Senate on it. Number of petitions. And can you tell us, how these petitions translate to better life for Nigerians? Number of petitions.
Well, you see, we represent Nigerians. We're voting for Nigeria. We represent Nigerians. I mean, the difference between democracy and military rule is parliament. We represent Nigerians. So in my constituency, Kwara Central, if somebody, I represent them. And if anybody feels that there's been injustice to him anywhere in the system, it is his member of parliament or his member of national he goes to and says, you are representing me, fight for me, these are my issues. And over the years, such petitions, nobody used to attend to them. If you go and look so far, I think we've treated over 70-something petitions. I know a Senate that only did 5 petitions. So there's an avenue now for Nigerians to go to if they feel there's injustice. We had a gentleman who was unfairly relieved of his duty in one of the agencies. He then died. The widow was now left, and it's over so many years. And she was so moved that justice finally came to her, and with that, she's been able to begin to support the family. So, and that is what we're there for. It is, and those are the opportunities that we create to allow people to know that there's somewhere they can run to for justice, whether individually or collectively or as a community.
Excellency, I thank you very much, and I wish you the best of the next 2 years coming up.
Thank you so much.